Okay, so the other day I made a video talking about how you could get your Steam games up and running on your Xbox using Microsoft's new Edge browser. And the way you would go about doing that is you would load up the Edge browser and then you could go into your GeForce Now account within the browser and then you could go in and play your Steam games from there. And it was a little bit clunky, but it did work. However, that's not the only service that you can get up and running using the Edge browser. And the one I want to talk about today is Stadia. Okay, I know not many people use Stadia at the moment, but it is an interesting one to try. And just to show, I am on my Xbox at the moment. I'm going to hit the Xbox button. And as you can see there, I am in my Xbox. And as you can see here, I've got the Edge browser. And you can tell that this is the new version of the Edge browser because it's the sort of green and blue one with the little swirly thing. And the only people who've got that currently are the people who are on the preview program on their Xbox. And specifically, you need to be in the preview program and you need to be in the alpha skip ahead tier. But this will be coming to everybody later in the year. So once it's available to everybody, you should, assuming Microsoft don't lock this down, be able to do this with your Xbox as well. For the time being, though, it's only those people who are on the alpha skip ahead tier. But as you can see, I've got Stadia up and running on here. Now, this is all going fine, and I'm using my Xbox controller to navigate. But what you will notice is I'm trying to go up now, and I can't actually go up above Destiny to choose the store or to choose various options. Now, the way you would be able to do that, though, is you would need to hit the menu button on your Xbox controller, and that brings up the cursor. And then when you've got the cursor up, you should be able to go across and you can select store. And you can go in here and you can scroll through there with the store and all the rest of it. And you could select your settings and all these various different options. Not that there are many on Stadia, but you can do that. So let's just go home a second. Just wait for that to load. But as you can see here, I've still got the cursor up. So now this is actually operating as a mouse rather than actually as a controller. And that's a problem. Now, I have found there's a way around that, though. And the way around that is if you look at the top there, I've got Stadia Bing and then I've got Play Stadia. If I hit the shoulder buttons on the Xbox, it will take me across. And if I go back across to Stadia, I'm now in controller settings again. So that's a kind of workaround for that. And that allows you to, shift backwards and forwards between mouse controls and actually using the controller itself. The other thing you are going to need, though, is you are going to need a keyboard connected up to your Xbox. And I've got a tiny little handheld keyboard here that I used to use for my media devices, and that's actually connected up via Bluetooth to my Xbox at the moment. And the reason you're going to need that is you're going to need the escape button on the keyboard, and I'll explain why in a minute. But for the time being, let's just go in and select Serious Sam, and that will start to load up. And as you can see here, it's loading up perfectly well. And it'll take a little while to load because obviously it's streaming down from the internet. Oh, black screen. And it says it's loading. So you just have to wait for that to load. And it says Crow Team. Incidentally, I have got sound. I'm not actually recording sound on this because I want you to hear my voice. But yeah, there is sound. And if I just prove that there's sound. Did you hear that? There's sound. So let's just turn that down again. It's a mute. I'll actually mute that. So where's my controller? There you go. I'll mute that. But just to show there is sound. And now I'm going to press any button as it says. And you can see here there's a cursor on screen, but it's actually not moving. I'm actually just using my controller. And I want to select single player and campaign and load game. And let's just load into there, and it says loading. And it's loading up. And bear in mind, like I say, this is Stadia, and we're in. Oh, here we go. He's coming at me. Let's just change the chainsaw. There you go. Have that. And yeah, I mean, there's a fair bit of tearing and whatnot, but that's not specifically to the Xbox. That's just because I'm running via the net, and I'm actually in the office, and I haven't got a particularly great connection in the net. In my office, which is a bit of an annoyance. I'm going to sort that out shortly, but it is working, and yeah, it's cool. It's actually very playable. Now, just let me kill this, and I will explain to you why I need a keyboard. Now, I'm in here, and I can't get out. I can bring up the options. I can save it by hitting the view button, because for some reason the view button saves. And yeah, it's oh, look at that tearing. That was terrible. But it is playing. But I can't actually get out of the game with the controller, because normally what you would do if you were using Stadia, you would be using the Stadia controller, and then with the Stadia controller, you've actually got the Stadia button, or whatever they call it, a bit like the Xbox button that you've got on your Xbox controller. But obviously, if I press the Xbox button, it does that. It brings up the Xbox home screen, or the little sidebar. So in order to get out of this game, what I have to do is I have to get my keyboard, and I have to press and hold the escape button. And it does that. And now I can use my controller to exit the game. And it takes me back. And as you can see now, I've not got controls. So there, if I hit the cursor, there you go. I've got it back to that. And if I go, let me see, out of there, back to Stadia. Now I should, it's locked me out this time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Back. No, it's not letting me do it this time. So you can see it's there's some issues with it. But I can still scroll through from here. But if I wanted to play the game at the moment, it's not going to let me, because it's not letting me back into mouse controls. And, oh, there you go. Open Stadia. Oh, never mind. Anyway, let's go back there. Press exit to exit full screen. Let's just do... No, it's loading the game again. Ah, that's why it is. Couldn't understand what was going on there. For some reason, it's loaded up the game again. And it's not going to work this time, because I haven't got my mouse controls. Sorry, I haven't got my controller controls this time. So, oh no, it is working. It is actually working. I've got the controller controls back. Controller controls back. So that's working again. But let's just hit the escape and hold it on the keyboard. And it takes us out again. And exit. And we're back. And question is, if I do that, am I... No. Let's just bring up the cursor again. Here we go. There you go. No, I can't get it back in the menus for some reason, but that doesn't matter, because it was working in the game. So yeah, as with playing Steam games using GeForce Now yesterday, it can be a bit clunky. It doesn't always like to work, and it can cause you some problems, but you can go in and play your games. And this is only going to get better. But for now, I think I'm done. I think that shows you that you can get Stadia up and working on your Xbox. So again, just to show you, I am actually on the Xbox. Let's just hit the Xbox button, hit home, and there you go. I'm on Xbox. And let's just go back into Edge again, and you can see I am playing Stadia on my Xbox, and for some reason it's not recognizing the controller again. That will be Edge, because Edge sometimes loses its connection to the controller. So if I go quit and then I go back in again, it'll take a moment, and then we're in. And now I've got my cursor, and this thing here, set as default, is a pain in the ass because it keeps coming back even though I set it. There you go, got that. Let's just get the cursor back. And I wonder if I can get it to... No, it's still not doing it. But yeah, I've lost it again. But as you can see, it is working. It is a bit clunky, and most of the problems are because Edge is in alpha build at the moment, and it does cause some problems. You can't get everything to work properly. Even the address bar doesn't work properly as it stands at the moment, so you would expect to have problems. But once they get those sorted out, assuming they don't, as I said before, lock down this so that you can't actually stream Stadia and GeForce Now to your Xbox, as long as they don't do that, then this is just going to get better and better as time goes on. So if you've got any of those services like Stadia or GeForce Now, there's a good chance you can be able to play them on your Xbox moving forward. But anyway, that's me done. I just thought I'd do a quick one on that because it's a nice companion piece to the one I did about GeForce Now the other day. But I'm going to go and grab myself a drink, and I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Bye.